we don't want to introduce the tribal tag into these affairs.
Listen. Your tribal tag, you have to bring it up.
Direct. We don't speak it. There's a way we put it. You guys are ready? Fine. Mlisema nilipigwa saa ngapi? Saa ngapi? Na ilikuwa ile michezo ya wabunge tu. Ilikuwa kipindi tu. Ile ilikuwa kipindi. Lakini haina shida. Sawa. Tuko tayari mkiwa. Sijui kwa nini nani yuko hapa.
Patrick. Patrick amefa.
Hata maybe. Okay. So, thank you very much kwa kufika hapa in time. So members of the fourth estate, the people you see before you are members of parliament elected in Gusii region under the Kenya Kwanza umbrella. The only member that is here, not here, of course, with apology, is Honorable Alpha Miruka, who is a little bit under the weather, but he associates himself fully with the sentiments that we're going to make here. We are here to make a statement in regard to now the top story in the country about the arrest of one Margaret Nyakango, the control of budget of this country. And I want to say it from the onset that we have realized, and upon keen observation in the recent past, not just this very incident, about 6 months or so, that there are some forces within and without government that want to sabotage the goodwill of the president and the plans of the president and the deputy president to put this country together, to balance distribution of the very scarce employment opportunities, and also to, of course, create, to also distribute resources or development resources across the country. We've realized that in the past 6 months, we have had some people deliberately and with acts of impunity who are hell-bent to sabotage the president. That at any given time when His Excellency the President is out of the country and His Excellency the Deputy President is engaged on official duties like it were in recent past, he's been very, the Deputy President who was in charge of the country has been very busy on mitigation of the El Nino rains across the country, on the damages and everything that he's been doing to mitigate the El Nino rains across the country. There are people within and without government who are hell-bent to make sure that there's sabotage and bring disunity among the government officials. And unfortunately, they are skewed towards some regions and some quarters. And as leaders, we've got to speak out. And it's specifically the issue of Margaret Nyakango and also the CEO of Bombers of Kenya, one Mr. Peter, who was also ousted last week. He's also a son of a particular region, and in particular Gusii region. People had to wait when His Excellency the President had a conference and a seminar in Tanzania. And then that report came out again about Peter. This time around, the President has been away. The Deputy President has been engaged, and they decided again, they strike again on Margaret Nyakango. I want to tell the independent bodies like the EACC not to allow themselves to be used to settle some, I don't know whether it's political scores or could be some, personal interests, to kill careers unnecessarily. And we want to tell them that we know them by their names. We know those people who are pushing such evil acts. Because the president is working around the clock to make sure that even on employment, even on balancing regions in terms of positions, he's trying to make sure that, as the Constitution says, that each region is represented or placed on the table of discussion as far as employment is concerned, as far as sharing of employment opportunities is concerned. The president is really working very hard on that, and the deputy president. But there are a few people who feel that there is a particular region, there is a particular community that shouldn't be in government. We want to tell them, and that is why we sat here today, that that region, and indeed every region in this country, have their leaders. And as representatives of the people, we will speak out and we will call them out. We have to defend our people. Because on Margaret Nyakango, call it whichever name you want to call it, but we will tell you today, as people who also support the president, that this is total witch hunt. There is nothing, there is completely nothing criminal. In as much as the matter is in court, and one would say that we are engaging or swimming in the waters of sub judice, that is neither here nor there. We are not discussing the content of the case. But it is rather surprising that Margaret is being charged. One, when she's engaged in an official duty in Mombasa. She's been in Nairobi all through in her office. What kind of embarrassment can somebody go through? A mother, a wife to somebody, a daughter to someone? You can't hold somebody when she's holding. Couldn't you even respect the huge amount of money that the public, through taxes, were able to sponsor that very event? Because the event that she was holding or leading was paid by the taxpayers' money, through the taxpayers' money. Couldn't they have waited for her in Nairobi, or pick her from her home or something with, really, this kind of embarrassment is not really what we promised our people. And I think this is not even what the president wants. This is not what the deputy president wants. These are the things that we campaigned against as the Kenya Kwanza coalition. We said there will not be having political witch hunts. We said people will not be arrested with, especially people in public service in such high dignity offices. They will not be embarrassed in such formats, because it couldn't be very difficult to summon Margaret Nyakango to EACC or to whichever place, because she's a public figure, and tell her, okay, you are wanted for this particular charge, come before us and everything, and we take you to court. There's nothing wrong with that. But you wait for her, you nab her like a thief, a person that has served this country for all those years, really? And then you tell us we keep quiet? We cannot keep quiet. We vetted members of parliament that are here, and I'm glad that Honorable Nyamoka and myself were in the National Assembly that time when she was being vetted. In this very house. We passed her in this house in 2019. Oblivious of the facts that are now being exposed now. It is the very same EACC that cleared her in 2019 and gave her a clean bill of health as she was being cleared. It is the same EACC, DCI that cleared her and gave her, a certificate of good conduct in 2019. And then we debated. Nobody raised that issue in 2019. Not a single petition came before the floor in that very 2019. Why now? A matter of 2016. Your guess is as good as mine. It is because people believe that a certain community or some people from a certain region should not be in government. And really, that is wrong. And unfortunately, we have to speak out, because I do not think, and I have knowledge, because I am aware, that the president and the deputy president are not part of these evil plans by the very evil spirits within and without government. And at the right time, we'll call them out. We were here about 2 weeks ago where we raised issues about exams that we've been profiled as a community. You know, that the entire NEC officials were in Kisii, moving around our schools, you know, pretending like, you know, they are doing, you know, normal inspections as the exams were going on, but they were undressing young people, the young students, telling them, you know, we need to do this and this. We want to check whether you've got some leakage in your bra, in your t-shirt, in your vest. We are saying enough is enough. Those people that are being used to try and wrestle the Gusii community out of government, you will not succeed, because we are there. We will call you out, because that is what it is. The people who feel like, you know, these people should not deserve to be in this country, we are part of the country, and we will be there. We've shared with His Excellency the Deputy President, because he's in the country. We've shared with him, and it's sad that even him, he only learned of such arrest on TV. It is very sad, you know. So it is something that is being planned by people, possibly on the lower cadre of government, and the people who have been sent by very evil, you know, quarters. So that is what we wanted to say, that this is political witch hunt, and we are telling Margaret Nyakango to stand firm, to stay put. We have, as a community, we've taken it up as our matter, and as her leaders, we've also taken it up. We are going to have a battalion of lawyers to defend her in the court of law, because we know this is political witch hunt. You even had the charge sheet. They said Nyakango and 10 others who are not before court. I mean, really? 10 others. 10 others. So it has taken 7 years, and the only person you can get is one. You couldn't get the other 9. I know. So we are going to defend her. We are going to be in court. We are going to have a battalion of lawyers, and we are going to defend her fully, fully, fully. And going forward, we will not allow any person to target our region for such. Thank you very much.